GTM Podcast Buddhist Knowledge Special Limited Series Vesak Day Episode 3 The Lord Buddha's Day of Victory. Hello everyone. You are listening to GTM Podcast Buddhist Knowledge Special Limited Series Vesak Day, commemorating the birth, enlightenment, and the death of the Lord Buddha. Last time we provide an in-depth look at Queen Siri Mahamaya's pregnancy and birth of our Lord Buddha. Today's story, we share the Lord Buddha's day of victory and his journey to enlightenment. Our last episode began at dawn on the 15th day of the 8th waxing moon. Queen Siri Mahamaya dreamt that the four kings of Chaturmaharajika realm came together to carry her along with her bed to the celestial forest. There, ladies bathed and covered her with scent powders and sacred flowers. They took her to the bedroom of a heavenly mansion situated on top of the Silver Mountain, where a great white elephant appeared. In his trunk, he carried white lotus. He walked around her 3 times and afterward entered the right side of her abdomen. At that very moment, there was a loud rumbling. The ground quaked. Illumination and supernormal events occurred. That was the instant our Bodhisattva was conceived. Just for your information, these events also witnessed and recorded in China history over more than 1,000 years ago. And after that, the emperor decided to send his ambassador to the West to bring the teachings of the Buddha into the mainland, which also recorded in the story as Journey to the West. When it was the time for his birth, Queen Siri Mahamaya traveled back to her kingdom to deliver the child. Unexpectedly, in the middle of her journey at Lumbini Garden, Prince Siddharta was born. Queen Siri Mahamaya gave birth to our Bodhisattva, who arrived in a standing position, possessing all 32 physical characteristics of a perfect man. As soon as his feet touched the ground, he stood confidently and immediately took 7 steps towards the north and announced, "I am the most supreme, the most advanced, and the most sublime being in the world. This shall be my final rebirth." When the perfect man appears on earth, it is for the purpose of benefiting the mass. He appears for the happiness of celestial and human beings. The perfect man is Tathagata Buddha. Tathagata is the word that the Buddha addressed himself while he speaks to people. Today's story begins on the 15th day of the waxing moon, as the perfect man was sitting facing east in a half lotus position, meditating beneath the Bodhi tree of enlightenment. My blood and flesh can dry, leaving only skin, tendons and bones. As long as I cannot become enlightened as the Buddha, I shall not leave this seat. The perfect man's determination to become enlightened creates worry for the Mara chief. This worry caused the chief to mobilize his troops against our Bodhisattva. The Mara chief was seated on the elephant Kirimekara, 1,941 miles high. He conjured up 1,000 limbs with 1,000 hands, carry different weapons. The Mara troops were ferocious and they converged upon our Bodhisattva. As the Mara troops approached the Bodhi tree, The celestial beings were terrified and disappeared to the edge of the universe, leaving the perfect man alone to face the Mara chief and his troops. He knew they were there to kill him, and his only protection against them were the 10 perfections he had nurtured for countless lifetimes. With calm and composure, he recalled his 3 levels of the perfections and used them as his ultimate warriors to cut down the Mara troops. He was not bothered by their strength, even though they were making loud noise that thundered across the whole universe to intimidate him. The Mara chiefs sent gale force winds power enough to destroy a great mountain 16 miles high. These strong gusts did not even move his robe. Next, the chief dispatched huge clouds and relentless rainfall. There were flash floods everywhere. But the water could not penetrate the perfect man's robe. Then he delivered a downpour of rain coals as hot as hellfire. But they turned into celestial blooms. Frustrated and angry, the Mara chief tried torrent of sharp weapons, sand, mud, and acid, but nothing could harm the perfect man. Ultimately, he ordered his troops to seize the perfect man. The chief rode his elephant near the Bodhi tree and said, "Behold, Siddharta, get out of this seat right now. It is belong to me." The perfect man answered, "This precious seat occur by the power of my accumulated merit, not yours. I shall remain here." The Mara chief said, "You don't know who you are dealing with. I have many troops and all kinds of weapons with me. You are alone, and you still have other cities to resist me?" The perfect man replied, "Mara, you have no idea who you are dealing with. I have a vast army and all the weapons I need. I have no fear of you. I have my perfections as my army." He continued, "There may not be witness to my deeds here, but the soulless earth will bear witness to them. I pursue perfection of generosity 7 times as Prince Vesandara. We will talk about him in later episodes of Buddha series. As he named these wholesome deeds, he pointed his right index finger to the ground. First the air, water, and ground quake. Then the great clouds bellowed mightily. In that instant, a colossal thunderbolt struck and caused the Mara troops to quiver, fearful of the Bodhisattva's power of merit. The elephant Kirimekla could not withstand the strong vibrations and lost its balance, causing the Mara chief to fall to the ground. Even the Mara generals dispersed quickly. Our Bodhisattva was triumphed in defeating the Mara chief and his troops. Even with his great victory, the perfect man had yet to become enlightened as the Buddha. Finally, being left alone in peace, he continued with his meditation. During the first watch, he attained the supernormal knowledge of previous lives. He clearly recalled the detail of each of his lifetimes in terms of birthplace, status, name, and lineage. During the second watch, he attained the supernormal knowledge that allowed him to recall and see the detail of other beings undergoing the round of rebirth as a consequence of their specific and overall karma. During the final watch, he attained the supernormal knowledge from the Four Noble Truths and became enlightened as the Lord Buddha. Many supernormal events occurred after the Lord Buddha's enlightenment. The hell of Lokanta, located at the edge of the universe in pitch darkness, was suddenly illuminated. The salt water in the oceans become unsalted. Every river stops flowing. The celestial beings that witnessed Mara defeat resume singing our Bodhisattva's praise. His victory over the Mara chief was indeed great. He alone confronted the terrifying and mighty chief and his troops, thus glorifying our Lord Buddha as the conqueror of Mara. Vesak Day is the day the perfect man liberated himself from the control of the Mara chief and the ignorance of all living beings replaced by the light of Dhamma. To follow the Lord Buddha's footsteps, we would like to invite everyone to dress in white and polite clothes, come together in practice generosity, observe the precepts, and join our Full Moon of Peace live meditation on Zoom conference. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Join us for the next special episode, The Lord Buddha Passing to Nirvana. Thank you for your continued support. Subscribe, like, and share to your friends and family. Until next time.